Hey all, it's Mr. Borosky again, and for this video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be covering Code.org Unit 3, Lesson 5. Specifically, we're going to be tackling variables. So just a refresher for some of y'all who've had me last year, and this will be new information for who did not have me last year. A variable is simply a box with a name, and the box is special because that box, we can put anything in the world that we want into that box. And anytime we call the name of that box, it will bring us whatever's in there. So just keep that in mind is that a variable is simply just a box with a name on it, and we can put anything in it. For example, if we look at this code below, we have a variable declared that's called size of circle. And what we're sticking in that box is the number 150. So anytime we use the variable name of size of circle, it's going to go to that box and it's going to take out the 150 and it's going to put that 150 in the location of the variable. All right. Now, there are some rules and regulations, limitations, just like a genie. They can do everything and everything we could possibly hope for. There are some limitations to naming variables. Specifically, variables cannot be named, variable names cannot have spaces in them. So you can't have size of circle. You have to have them all scrunched together. The next thing is a variable cannot start with a number. You cannot start a variable with a number. And then capital, you can't have spaces at the beginning either. And then also a capitalization. You must have the variable, when you declare a variable, it must be used specifically, case capitalization included. So for lesson 4 right here, or skill set 4, we have, what we need to do here is we've got 3 variables declared, size of circle, 1 dimension, and then Y location. And if you see these red blocks right here, this tells us that something's going bananas. The code's not running right, and that is because the variables are named wrong. So let's go ahead and take a look at variable number 1. So variable number 1 is size of circle. However, we cannot have any spaces in a variable name. So what we can do to fix this issue is we are going to go ahead and we're going to bring backspace, and then we're going to go ahead and put an underscore there, and we're going to put an underscore here. And that's going to take care of the space. So now the variable name size of circle, which is has in it 150, now has backspaces, underscores instead of spaces. So now it likes it. However, if we look down in the code where the ellipse is using the variables, we still have spaces in our variables. We need to fix that. So we'll go down here, we'll put an underscore here, we'll put a underscore here, and we'll do the same thing. We'll backspace and put an underscore, and we'll put another backspace in the underscore. And once we do that, now we have the variable size of circle with the underscores, the same as we're using in the code, size of circle with the underscores. Next thing we're going to take a look at is going to be the second variable, which is going to be 1 dimension. Now, if they spelled that 1 out instead of just using the number 1, it'd be okay. But they cannot use a number 1 at the beginning. You can't use a number, you can't start with a number. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that number. And we're going to do the same thing down here. It's got 1 dimension. We're going to get rid of that 1. Once we do that, we now have our our red squares are gone for the first variable and the second variable. The third variable that we're taking a look at here is Y location, and it's got a lowercase y, capital L. If we look down here, we've got a uppercase Y and an uppercase L. Well, we got to make them. We got to make them the exact same name. So we're going to get rid of that uppercase Y. We're going to make it lowercase. And once we do that, then what we have here is we have our 3 variables declared. We've got proper names. We've got size of circle with no space. We've got dimension with no number starting off with it. And then we've got our Y location with a lowercase y, capital L. And then they are all aligned with the usage in the ellipse, the X, the Y, the width, and the height. And if we go ahead and run it, then it looks snazzy. We've got our red circle just like the example. All right, so that is our little recap of how to use variables, how to name variables, and how the variables apply within the how to use those within the code. All right, hopefully it helps, and have a great day. Thanks, guys.